Hey class. All right, so this week we're covering nutrition, okay? And for me, this is one of the most interesting topics just because of how, you know, different it is for every single person. Throughout my career, not only as a doctor of physical therapy, but my just career of wanting to be fit and working toward a certain fitness goal, I've struggled with fitness personally. I've struggled with nutrition personally. That for me is my weak spot. I'm sure my wife will tell you I have a pretty bad sweet tooth, so I'm always craving the sugary things that aren't good for you. Recently, I've actually tried to attack nutrition from a different angle because not only of this course, of teaching this course, but because of my own struggles with nutrition, I chose to attack it biblically. Wondering if that would kind of help me because, it was always a struggle trying to stay on a certain nutrition path and eating all the right things, for my own health reasons and to be a good example to my kids as well. So looking at it biblically made it a little bit more personal for me. And so I always find that when I go from a scripture standpoint or a biblical standpoint, which is why I love this reflection so much, it allows it to become more personal and, more of something that you're dealing with in your relationship with Christ. And so for me personally, I love looking at nutrition from a biblical standpoint. It's much easier for me to grasp and want to do it rather than just reading it out of a textbook or watching a YouTube video. I've done a lot of research in terms of what athletes eat and how they manage their body composition, how they hit their goals, and it's crazy because everyone's different. Like Michael Phelps, right? He is crazy ripped, crazy slim. You look at him and you're like, dang, he's in great shape. That man eats 10,000 calories a day because of how much work he's putting in his sport. I don't know if he does that anymore. That was more when he was doing like the Olympics stuff, so he's around 10,000 calories a day. And that is crazy amount, right? So, if you were to eat that in your day, I don't think you could do it. It's an insane amount of food. People like The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. I think the last time I looked up, he eats around like 5,000 calories a day, trying to keep on with his body mass. So at the end, what I find is, if you're trying to hit a specific goal, there's a lot more that goes into it than, hey, you need to have this meal every day. Like you actually have to measure your carbs, measure your fats, measure your protein, make sure you're getting the amount that you need and is appropriate for you. And that's what I tell a lot of my patients who are trying to lose weight. A lot of the patients who lose weight, if you ever watch like 600 Pound, My 600 Pound Life, that's an interesting show to watch, especially when they go on their nutrition program. They'll lose weight very quickly just because the body's not used to eating at a caloric deficit or in that type of manner that they're now eating. So that eventually will, slow down, plateau, and then you have to adjust your eating again. But then again, you need to ask yourself, what works better, a diet or a lifestyle change, right? Usually the diets, you'll lose weight quick, but you'll gain it all back, if not more. Usually with a lifestyle change, that's where you aim for that 1 pound a week goal. So that's just something definitely to think about. So if any of you are struggling, with your nutrition or eating well, make you need to ask yourself, hey, what is going to make this more than just a chore for me? What's going to make this make this more personal for me? For me, it was attacking it from a biblical standpoint. For others, it's, especially in sports, they're able to do it because they're trying to hit a certain goal in their sport. Unfortunately, I don't have anything like that to hit, so I'm just trying to stay healthy for my family. But something to think about, what is your goal? And how can you make your goal a reality? And what's the best way to approach it? So please look over these reflections. I think it's really helpful just seeing, a biblical standpoint, giving you another perspective, if anything. And if that doesn't work out, you can always, look at other things. But I really love the article that is in your reflection this week, as well as your assignment. I find your assignment very interesting. I've taught this course many times, and I always learn something new from this week. So if you have any questions, any concerns, if you're going through your own personal journey with nutrition, we live in a world where nutrition is very hard. It's more expensive to eat healthy than it is to eat regular. So if you have any questions, good luck. All right, I'm here for you guys.